Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In Iran, millions of people have taken to the streets of Qom and other cities for a fourth day of funeral proceedings for the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in a U.S. airstrike February 28th, along with his daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and 14-month-old granddaughter. On Monday, President Trump renewed his threats to attack Iran, warning Tehran to reach an agreement or see the U.S., quote, finish the job. In response, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said negotiations on a final deal will not commence if threats continue. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guard reportedly fired missiles at ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz overnight. The British Navy reports a Qatari tanker carrying liquefied natural gas caught fire after it was struck. A Saudi-flagged crude oil tanker was also reportedly hit. The ships were attempting to pass through a channel closer to Oman, bypassing Iranian-controlled waters. Hamas has announced it'll dissolve its civilian governing body in the Gaza Strip and hand over power to a new Palestinian technocratic governing authority. The establishment of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza is part of the U.S.-backed 20-point plan to end Israel's war on Gaza. Israel agreed to the deal last October and has since violated it on a near-daily basis, killing some 1,100 Palestinians. On Monday, Israeli strikes on Gaza killed at least 4 Palestinians, including 2 killed when Israel bombed a site that provided safe drinking water to thousands of families. Israeli strikes killed at least 3 more people earlier today. This is a displaced Palestinian from Jabalia.
We wish from God that handing over this Hamas administrative committee brings improvement. We wish from God to be relieved from the tents, mosquitoes, mice that are eating us up and our children. This is not life. We are living in torture, death. We ask God that the entire world would look at us with an eye of mercy.
In the occupied West Bank, a 4-month-old Palestinian baby died after Israeli forces blocked his evacuation to receive emergency medical care. The family of Ahmed Maruf Said had reportedly called the Palestinian Red Crescent, which sent an ambulance to the entrance of Deir Amma refugee camp where the family resides, but Israeli soldiers at a checkpoint prevented the baby's transfer to a hospital for more than an hour. Haaretz reports the main entrance to the village has been closed since January, shutting down the only direct route to and from Ramallah. The Palestinian Red Crescent says Israeli soldiers stationed there routinely block residents from passing through. Israeli forces also shot dead a 16-year-old boy from the Kalandia refugee camp near Ramallah in a raid Sunday. During the same raid, security camera video footage shows an Israeli soldier throwing a stun grenade into a car carrying Palestinians before appearing to force the door shut as it detonated. In Maine, Democratic senatorial candidate Graham Plattner faces growing calls to step down following a report he sexually assaulted a woman he dated. Politico first reported the allegations by 41-year-old Maine resident Jenny Rasico on Monday afternoon. She later spoke with CNN's Jake Tapper.
He violated multiple layers of consent that night by coming into my home when I asked him not to, and by advancing on me when I told him not to, and furthermore, another incident that I had told him not to do.
On Monday afternoon, Plattner published a video on social media in which he denied the allegations, but said he's considering the next steps for his campaign.
Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins.
In a statement, Senate Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand said Plattner should immediately withdraw from the race. Many of Plattner's supporters have withdrawn their endorsements, including California Congressmember Ro Khanna and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. And the chair of the Democratic Party of Maine and other party leaders posted a statement calling on Plattner to drop out. Under state law, Maine's Democratic Party can name a replacement for Plattner on the November ballot if he withdraws from the race by next Monday. The outcome of the election could determine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Meanwhile, in Michigan, Democrat Mallory McMorrow has suspended her campaign to replace retiring Democratic Senator Gary Peters. Her withdrawal from the race leaves two main contenders, Congressmember Haley Stevens and Abdul El-Sayed, a physician epidemiologist, former director of the Detroit Health Department. Dr. El-Sayed is a supporter of single-payer health care and is a critic of U.S. military support for Israel. He has the endorsement of Senator Bernie Sanders and New York Congressmember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Stevens has the support of the Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, which has spent millions of dollars on advertisements supporting her campaign. The primary will be held August 4th. In more news from the Senate, aides to Senator Mitch McConnell say the Kentucky Republican is continuing his recovery after he was admitted to the hospital on June 14th. McConnell's office provided no further details, only that he's, quote, receiving excellent care. This comes after audio from emergency dispatchers who rushed to McConnell's home June 14th described an unconscious person experiencing cardiac arrest with CPR in progress.
Medic, communications. East Army Supervisor, CPR in progress.
Senator McConnell has had a series of falls in recent years and was hospitalized with a concussion in March 2023. Later that year, he twice froze up during news conferences. He's not running for re-election when his term expires at the end of the year. This comes after a New Jersey Republican Congress member recently emerged from 117 days of unexplained absence, saying he'd been hospitalized for clinical depression. Congressmember Tom Kean Jr. spoke from the House floor last week, his first public appearance after missing more than 100 votes.
As the over 48 million of my fellow Americans being treated for this illness have come to discover, there is no timeline for healing. There is no timeline for recovery. Only the work of getting better, one day at a time.
New Jersey Congressmember Kean Jr. was fully paid during his nearly 4-month unexplained absence from Congress. That's despite his track record of repeatedly voting against paid sick leave legislation. Mother Jones reports that as a state lawmaker, he voted against New Jersey's historic Earned Sick Leave Act, which mandates 5 paid sick leave days per year. He also voted against New Jersey's No Surprise Medical Bills Act and 2 of its paid family leave laws in 2008 and 2018. President Trump's joining dozens of world leaders today for a 2-day NATO summit in the Turkish capital of Ankara. Ahead of the talks, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte praised NATO members who've committed to spending at least 5% of their gross domestic products on their militaries, a key demand of the Trump administration.
Last year, European allies and Canada spent nearly 20% more on core defense than they had the year before. Looking at 2025 and 2026 combined, that's $258 billion in extra investment. And the trend continues.
Rutte said allies will invest over $40 billion in military drone technology over the next 5 years. Meanwhile, NATO leaders announced arms deals worth billions of dollars. President Trump is expected to voice support for the sale of F-35 fighter jets to Turkey, which would reverse a ban Trump imposed during his first term. Congress has also prohibited Turkey from receiving the advanced fighter jets after it purchased an air defense system from Russia. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk has warned another humanitarian catastrophe is unfolding in Sudan's besieged city of El Obeid. The UN Human Rights Council held an emergency session Friday as fighting intensified between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces, which are vying for control of the North Kordofan state capital. UN experts have urged the international community to step in to prevent widespread atrocities similar to what was witnessed in El Fasher after it was seized by the UAE-backed RSF. Already, UN fact-finding missions have documented summary executions, abductions, torture, and sexual violence in Kordofan. Over 11,000 people, including more than 5,500 children, have been displaced from El Obeid in the past 2 weeks, according to Save the Children. We'll have more on that story in the coming days. In more news from Sudan, a top human rights investigator said the British government is uniquely positioned to stop a genocidal massacre carried out by the Rapid Support Forces in Sudan's El Fasher, but failed to do so over economic interests and diplomatic ties with the United Arab Emirates, which is accused of backing the RSF. Nathaniel Raymond of the Humanitarian Research Lab at the Yale School of Public Health submitted testimony to the UK Parliament detailing his team's efforts to warn of the threats. This is a portion of his testimony.
I will speak personally and I will speak bluntly. My outrage at institutional failure in the face of preventable genocidal killing, I see as a duty to stay angry, as the obituary and the memorial for these people. They deserve someone to be angry for them.
An estimated 60,000 people were slaughtered over the course of 3 days when RSF forces seized El Fasher in October. In Venezuela, the death toll from last month's devastating earthquakes has topped 3,500, expecting still to soar. As the United States seeks to expand its military presence in the wake of the disaster, U.S. Southern Command recently announced the deployment of at least 2,000 military personnel to Venezuela alongside drones, combat helicopters, and other hardware. That's in addition to U.S. Marines and Air Force officials already in Venezuela. The UN Development Program estimates June's earthquakes caused $6.7 billion in damage in Venezuela. Despite that toll, the United States has provided
I was lied to.
$300 million.
Lied. Okay. Okay. Let's pull it up. Jesus Christ. Get rid of you. Where are you? Okay. Window capture. I'm seeing. Blah blah blah blah. There we go. Where is it? Bada bing. Where is? There we go. Why is this not? Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You can see this, right? If you're in here, Lethe. I'm going to go with yes. Osifa. Looks correct to me. Yeah. Stream defense. Stupid names I put for this stuff. I think I have up to the Markov transition right now, done on a whiteboard. All right. That shit was kind of funny, man. He did follow me. Whiteboard up. You have... Oh. You're on YouTube? What the fuck? I have it already kind of out in this format, so I feel like it'd probably be better to do it this way, right? What do you guys think? Also, I think I'm going to wait for a few more people, just in case. I mean, it depends. You know, people might not show up at all, because I suck. But, that way I don't have to, like, go backwards. I think it might be kind of smart. So, what's in this, though? We have... You tried, it was extra choppy. Oh yeah, do you get that shit too on Twitch? Where like, it'll like play for like fucking 2 seconds and then stop, and I'm like, why? What the fuck, man? There's no buffering icon either. It's just kind of like, it's weird. I don't get it. Even when I turn it to audio only, it'll like fucking do that weird shit. Should probably do this though. Yeah, only on my phone too. No, like straight up. It's only on my phone. It's weird. It's fucking weird. From PC, but yeah, on PC it's fine for me too. I think if I make this a little bit bigger than Lethe, it might be better for you, eh? It's probably a little bit better now, right? Now you can actually see stuff. Like the equation here. Looks kind of clean actually. With the screen or whatever. It's pretty rad. Make it even bigger. There you go. Fucking clean, bro. All right, so what's in this? We have the primary equation, which is the change. Oh, to do this. Yeah, it's blending. But it works better with like a black background, obviously, right? Like if I change this to light mode right now, it's not so good. But if I bring it back to dark mode, right? Because the way blending works, it makes it just really, really nice. In econometrics, it's funny. Hey, Bartip. Okay, so Twitch is just wrong, I think, isn't it? I think the viewer count's just wrong, because there's at least 4 of you in the room right now, and it still says 1. I'm really confused. I'll just turn it off. How am I? I am Masamenos, I think. So we have a causal chain here in the model. We have a supply and demand incidence, and then we have how to pass that through, and then category exposures, which category is going to be expressed by the J in the equation. So this J right here, this is a sum of the category J's with exposure risks, and me not have that level of English knowledge. That's not English. Más o menos is Spanish. And then there is how to show that category exposures don't move all at the same time. Category exposures are going to be essentially these. So we have theta category D, change of D of a shock state is what that means. And the theta is a weighted exposure. It means exposure, weighted exposure. So we have the weighted exposure of category D, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, for this one I put diesel. So this would be essentially the, well, what this is called a price, a transmission mechanism, I'm sorry, which is going to show the category cost pressure. So MJS is category cost pressure, essentially. And we have exposure weights of diesel, crude, freight, and insurance. And then the last one is reserve stress. Yeah, right here. And then we have some more complex economics to essentially determine movement over time inside of shock states. And shock states are going to be the signified states of the economy. Yeah. This one is a theta, yeah. And theta for this model means exposure weights. So the weighted, like how much each category is exposed, essentially, in the weight that it puts into the model. And then we have Markov transitions over the state possibilities. So each shock state has a Markov transition matrix, which is going to tell us the movement from each state, essentially, or the probability of movement between each state. And then there's an escalation pressure index, which looks like this. And what it's doing, it's computing KT, which is the transmission matrix itself, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Pretty fun. Probably only get to like 10 for today. It's long. Pretty long. It also includes things like why it starts in S1, the state one. I mean, this will probably help you then, actually. Because this model's essentially... So these are some of the inputs in the model here, right? Where is it? Is the equation one? It's how am I get at my outputs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Ooh, forgot about this one. It sucks. I don't know what the point of that is. But we'll wait a little bit longer, okay? Still says 2. So confused. I'll just wait until I see more chats. Until then. Yeah, I just don't want to repeat myself pretty much. What do we got here?
Dollars in recovery aid.
Is there any trash worth looking at? The case against Salami. Jesus Christ. So much drama.
Öncelikle NATO liderler zirvesinde değerli.
What are my views on the AI bubble? Not good. Too much investment into something that doesn't actually translate to material social welfare benefit. We need to invest into things that are
Dostumla
Are you serious?
Ankara'da bir arada olmak bizlere ayrı bir güç katmıştır. Kendilerine hoş geldiniz diyorum.
Why are there no subtitles?
Coming in, we're brand new and beautiful, and you've been a great leader and a respected leader all over the world, and we really do. We've had right from
How come this one's so much longer? Oh, no, same.
and to have a building named after me. I was very happy about that. That was very nice.
Okay. For some reason, the White House team can never fucking figure it out, bro. When it comes to the audio. What are we doing?
The president has done an incredible job just landing at the airport to see
Hey,
such a beautiful airport and to have a building named after me. I was very happy about that. That was very nice. The airport is absolutely beautiful. The roads coming in were brand new and beautiful, and you've been a great leader and a respected leader all over the world.
Erdogan?
And we really do. We've had right from the beginning good chemistry. We've had a very special relationship. Turkey has become, under the president, a very powerful country militarily. People don't know how powerful, actually. They have a lot of our equipment, and they have a lot of great soldiers, and they're really somebody to be reckoned with. And the nice part is that because of the relationship that we have, it's all gone very well. I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the president, and I think it's really to the benefit of both countries. We're going to be talking today about trade. We're going to be talking about other things having to do with the military, lots of different things. Probably we'll mention Iran, where we have essentially decimated their military. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And
he's just making it up, actually, Globalized. Or that.
we're going to have some very good discussions. But we do a lot of trade with Turkey. We make great things, and they make great things, and
Israel's not going to be happy about this.
We've had it's had a very big impact on both of our countries. So I just want to tell you that it's an honor to be with you, and we're going to have a lot of good meetings. We're going to have good dinners, good food. We're going to have a good time, but mostly we're going to have a lot of work.
We're going to have a good orgy.
And we're going to
It's going to be magnificent. Beautiful, maybe.
do good things for
Erdogan's really sent me a lot of Epstein cards.
our countries. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Mr. President.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım, havaalanına kadar geldiniz. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz o yüzden. Çok
What, like all one person in the village?
uzun süren
They are right now, yeah.
son derece
Kind of wild.
saygı yakın olduğum bir insansınız. Buradaki buluşmalarımızda, görüşmelerimizde 3 konudan bahsedeceğiz. Askeri, ticari ve bir de İran konusundan bahsedeceğiz. Gerçekten
Who the fuck is talking?
çok güçlüsünüz. Çok güçlü askeri ve silah sanayi açısından
Is he mute?
çok güçlü bir yerdesiniz şu anda. Dolayısıyla teşekkür ediyorum ve çok iyi bir vakit geçirdiğinizi inanıyorum.
Thank you.
How the fuck are we going to sell F-35s to Turkey?
Well, it's a decision we're going to make. We have a very good relationship. I would think that many people, I can tell you, many people, including the people sitting right here, thinks, why wouldn't we do that? We have a better
Because it's like one of the most important pieces of equipment in our military, and there's no guarantee that China won't get a hold of a lot of information on the F-35, which we don't want.
relationship with Turkey, and Turkey's been in many ways much more loyal than other countries that we think
Turkey has most definitely not been loyal at all.
would be loyal. So,
Literally just fucking factually wrong.
yeah, it's something certainly we would consider. It's a great plane.
Cool.
It's the best, currently the best plane by far.
We're not going to sell them the best one, you moron. We have like 3 different versions. And we're definitely not going to sell them the C.
And it's certainly something we will consider, yeah. Yes, Daniel, please.
This moron has zero clue how the military works, doesn't he? I'm just like... Thanks, Kay. I feel like I am probably one of the only people who can actually sit through and watch a Trump interview, aren't I? The people who vote for him can't even do it anymore, dude. He's quite literally fucking just mind-numbingly dumb. All right, so we have M1 Abrams, right? The first M1 Abram, right? We sell like Abrams tanks to NATO, but older ones, right? Because we don't give our most up to date one. We've given a few actually to Ukraine of M1A1s, right? 85, 92. So just to be clear, we have the M1A2, which we do not give to anyone, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe only a few countries. Looks like Poland has a few. I guess a few different countries now can buy this one. Oh, that's a Facebook link. I don't want a Facebook link, bro. I thought I saw countries. This is the M1A2. General information. Blah, blah, blah, blah. This is War Thunder. Australia. Poland. Ukraine had a few of the M1A2s. Romania. Bahrain. Wow. Oh, but that was still the US, so. It's kind of the same thing, though, when it comes to the F-35. We have like 3 different variants, if I'm mistaken. And we most certainly do not sell the most new one. I think maybe Israel has the C model. United States, UK, Italy, and Japan. Okay. And Israel probably. Not that many. Let's add Turkey to that. What is happening? Who is this person? What's she doing whispering in his ear?
You never know why a relationship is special. Some people you get along with, and some people you don't. Sometimes you get along with the toughest people, like him, and sometimes you don't get along with the weakest, most pathetic people. You just don't get along. Maybe you don't respect them, but
That's because there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to get the parts after they buy them.
You know, from the day we met, we got along. We
didn't lose the race. We killed ourselves.
a pastor, as I remember, his name was Pastor Brunson, and it was a very big thing. And it was
I'm just like, what a weird interview going on.
Very traumatic. He was sentenced to a long-term prison sentence, and I felt he was innocent. And I called. Other people called. They got nowhere. I called the president, and he released him immediately. It was something that the evangelical community will never forget, and because he was a good man, Pastor Brunson. So, you know.
Okay, now I'm curious now. I gotta. Brunson was arrested in Turkey, where he has lived since mid-1990s. In 2016, on allegations of spying and links to the Gulen movement and the PKK. Yeah, somehow I don't feel like this guy would be a part of a workers' party, but we'll see. During the purges following the coup attempt against the 65th cabinet of Turkey, Brunson published a memoir. Oh, fuck you. I'm not doing that. He was found guilty of aiding terrorism by Turkish authorities. What the fuck is going on, bro? What's happening? I mean, it does kind of seem like this guy probably didn't deserve to be in there, right? Is that what, I'm kind of getting that vibe right now. It's kind of what it feels like reading this, I guess.
Just things like that. We just it's always worked out. And I think it's been from the very beginning, from the first moment. I said it before, it's a chemistry that works between us. There are those that I don't.
We fuck really good.
Don't have a good chemistry with, I will tell you that.
He strokes me really good. He knows to put on the nitrile gloves.
And we work that out too.
A chemistry so good that we have to use 15 interpreters to talk to each other.
Say it?
Are further troop drawdowns in Europe likely? And are you satisfied with the progress that NATO allies have made?
Well, we're going to see. I was very disappointed with NATO.
He answered
and frankly,
didn't even finish. He answered the exact question the guy was going to ask.
Weren't held in Turkey, where my friend happens to be a very strong leader, a very strong
fucking
person.
Big arms.
It's possible that I wouldn't have attended.
Broad shoulders.
I felt I had to attend because of the fact that, I know he's got all out. It was a big thing to have NATO come to Turkey or any place else. It's a big thing. But we weren't treated well because
NATO is in Turkey. Or sorry, Turkey is in NATO, Jesus Christ.
we did something.
No one likes Turkey, though. They're like the non-NATO NATO country.
In Iran, we don't need anybody's help. I didn't even want their help. But
oh my God.
Before I asked, they said they wouldn't be there. And we've invested trillions of dollars in NATO. Why?
Trillions? Did he just say trillions? Why? I wonder if he knows. Again, I said this a long time ago, but we make money on every dollar we give to NATO because every dollar we give means that they are essentially tied to the U.S. training and parts that come afterwards. I refuse to believe that somehow this fucking fool of a looking person and whatever the hell is going on here, this guy hasn't even opened his mouth once, is good chemistry, okay?
To protect European countries and others, Canada.
You mean like the one sitting across from you?
Etc. But to protect people, countries from, generally speaking, it used to be the Soviet Union, now it's Russia. And I say that's fine.
I mean, that's cool, I guess.
But you would think that they'd be very willing
Rebecca, let me get some water.
do something to help us. And they really weren't. In the case of the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister, I guess he's no longer there, maybe because of this. It was a very unpopular thing he did. He said, no, we'll help after the war is over. I said, I don't need that kind of help. We didn't need any help at all. And in a way, I was testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we helped them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down, and Germany turned us down, and France turned us down. And it's okay. But, why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
Türkiye ile Suriye arasında Türkiye'de efendim
İran'daki savaşın sona erdirilmesi için oldukça çaba sarf ettiniz. Müzakere süreci devam ediyor ancak nihai bir anlaşma noktasına gelinmiş değil. Bundan sonraki süreçte Türkiye nasıl adımlar atacak İran ve ABD arasındaki müzakere sürecinin olumlu bir şekilde neticelenmesi için?
Bu süreçte yine aynı şekilde bizler İran-Amerika ilişkilerini nasıl bir düzleme kavuştururuz? Onun gayreti içerisindeyiz.
Oh,
Elimizden
he's talking, but I can't understand him.
geleni yapmak suretiyle
Cool.
dünya barışına bir adım atalım diye gerek şahsım gerek arkadaşlarım hep birlikte çalışacağız.
Ben sizlere 80 bine yakın insan hayatını kaybetti Gazze'de. Çok büyük bir yıkım var. Ateşkes sağlandı ama yer yerde ihlaller devam ediyor. Ateşkes ihlallerinin önlenmesi için, insani yardımların Gazze'ye girebilmesi için, ayrıca Gazze'nin yeniden inşa edilebilmesi için.
All right, as we continue to listen into the Q&A
Yes, as we continue to not understand what the fuck is happening.
portion of President Trump and Recep Tayyip Erdogan's bilateral meeting there in Ankara, Turkey. Errol Barnett at the CBS Broadcast Center, joined by Kelly O'Grady, who picks up our coverage for the rest of the morning. Kelly, as you've been listening in, the major topics of discussion have been these F-35 there. Said she expects the U.S.
for me because that NATO is not Q&A again.
What just happened?
Sir, U.S. military and Turkish
You did?
military
What, on True Social or something? In this conference? Oh, you already watched it? Is it worth it?
really
I don't even know if it's worth it to watch this. This is stupid. Let's see what our favorite psychotic,
Joining me now with his reaction to President Trump's trip and much more is the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Hello?
Thank you so much for being here, sir.
What's going on here?
President Trump is in Turkey right now. He said this morning he will consider selling F-35 fighter jets to Turkey, which is a reversal of a ban he put in place. You said yesterday that would, quote, upset the power balance in the Middle East. Have you made that clear to President Trump?
Yes, I have. Actually, spoke to him several times about it, and I think that everybody understands that, notwithstanding the personal friendship that President Trump has with Erdogan, it doesn't make Turkey that President Trump has with Erdogan. It doesn't make Turkey a friendly. Or
Yeah, no, Netanyahu hates Turkey. He thinks that Turkey's government is anti-Israeli. And truth is, part of it kind of is.
Or a friendly state to the United States. To the contrary, it's a regime that's infected with the Muslim Brotherhood, which hates the United States.
And
he harbors
Israel.
Hamas, the Hamas terrorists. He supports them. He finances them. He's thrown his opponents in jail, all of them. He throws more journalists in jail than anyone can.
He ruthlessly genocides 60,000 people. Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. That's someone else. He's invading every country around. Oh, fuck. That's someone else.
Understand? So he's not exactly a model ally of the.
He's not exactly a model ally. Fuck. I'm thinking of someone else.
United States. But even worse than that, he threatens Greece, a NATO ally. He occupies half of Cyprus.
Is this guy on a speed run to fucking criticize himself right now or what? What is happening? The awareness is he just forgot to put attributes in that one.
Another NATO country. And the most important thing, and I put it right on the table, he threatens to destroy my country, the one and only Jewish state, is number 2.
Yep, really doing yourself a lot of favors there, man. especially when you introduce this with the one and only.
2 says that we have no place among the nations, and you know what that means. And his number 3, the interior minister, says that he's looking forward to be the governor of Jerusalem. Hello?
But,
you know,
but
we're
Prime
a sovereign
Minister,
country.
Yeah, but Prime Minister, the president said this morning
and we tend to
that...
stand.
Oh. Interesting.
Dependent.
The president said this morning that they are great friends, and not just the two of them, the countries of the United States and Turkey, and that Turkey is perhaps a better ally than other so-called allies. So he is considering giving the country these planes, F-35s.
Well, as I said, it would destroy the power balance in the Middle East because Turkey, I think, has aggressive aspirations. I mean, they openly say that. They want to restore the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire not only included Turkey, it included many other countries, included Syria, it included pieces of Jordan, included all of present-day Israel, included some Gulf countries.
It depends on which period you want to bring back the Ottoman, I guess.
So this is not a force for peace and stability. And if you give
this has got to be one of the most unaware interviews I've watched in a long time. You've got our resident genocide guy who's just like, I can't believe this. He wants to invade everyone. Meanwhile, he's literally invading like 4 countries around him right now. I just...
you know, this kind of
what are we
radical
doing?
regime that admittedly smiles to America when it is necessary, or smiles to the President of the United States when it's necessary. When you give him that power, you're going to see aggression in its wake. I wouldn't do that.
It almost like hurts.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, the conversation that the president is having with Turkey today is just the latest in moves that he has made that are not making you happy.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to switch to politics reaction. Sorry, Lethy. Because the idea of introducing my model right now sounds fucking insanely tiring. So I hope you're okay with that.
He obviously...
I'm going to work on it too, because when I was reading it, I just don't think I have too many categories, and some of them, they can be collapsed into one thing, and it just doesn't look good to do right now. So.
Ceasefires in Gaza, in Lebanon, on Iran. He made you turn fighters back from attacking Iran last summer. He's told you what you can and can't do in Hezbollah.
I just don't think I'm going to do a good job, and it sounds very tiring right now.
Who is calling the shots for Israel?
Wait, what?
Last summer, he's told you what you can and can't do in Hezbollah. Who is calling the shots for Israel?
I think there's a wideness.
What was that noise?
It's for Israel.
I think that there's a wide misperception of everything you said, because a lot of these things, some of them were not true, and some of them were.
I have to see that again, bro. What in the world was that noise?
He's told you what you can and can't do in Hezbollah. Who is calling the shots for Israel?
I think there's a wide misperception of everything you said, because a lot of these things, some of them were not true, and some of them were agreed in advance. And some of it, yes, we had occasional disagreements. Look, he is the President of the United States. He does what is good for the United States. I'm the Prime Minister of Israel. I do what is important for what is good for Israel. And most of the time, these things are
in alignment.
I have to commend the president. He brought
I don't know about identical.
American force to counter our common enemy, which is Iran, that chants death to Israel, death to America. Had they developed nuclear weapons, if we hadn't acted, they would have them already. They would eventually use them against America, not only against Israel. So on the big things, we see eye to eye, and occasionally we don't, but we're true allies. They call us, the National Security Council issued a memorandum a few months ago, and they called Israel the model ally. And I can tell you that even allies can have their differences.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that.
But I think America has no greater ally in the world than Israel, and Israel has no greater ally than the United States. And I say that with complete recognition of the fact that we sometimes see things a bit differently. It's natural. You're a big country, you're far away. We're a small country, beleaguered, and close to these regimes that want to destroy us.
I want to talk specifically about Iran for a moment, sir. President Trump said the memorandum of understanding with Iran is probably an unconditional surrender. But the specific question is, under this MOU, the United States terminates all types of sanctions against Iran. Is this a failure for your country, for Israel?
Look, I think it's too early to say what will happen. The president believes that he can stop Iran's nuclear program, which is a nuclear program to create atomic bombs. He believes that he can do this through negotiations.
Do you?
And various pressures. Look, I have my doubts, but I think he should be given the chance, and he's, trying to achieve that. It remains to be seen. But I have said, and by the way, I think President Trump has said too, that deal or no deal, I certainly will not let Iran have nuclear weapons, and that is also the president's position.
In 2015, I was there. I remember that you came to the U.S. and spoke to Congress over the objection of President Obama because of your opposition to that Iran deal, the JCPOA. You specifically mentioned the deal's sanction relief in that speech. What's different about now?
I think Iran, our combined action, the U.S. and Israeli action today destroyed, I think the lowest estimates are $400 billion of the regime's infrastructure, and some say as much as $750 billion or even $1 trillion. So I think what is being discussed now are very small numbers. Admittedly, any number is...
Are you retarded? Is he retarded? How do you know that this $300 billion will not be spent on the things that are going to hurt you and be spent on reconstruction of infrastructure?
As a high number as far as countries like Israel and others see it, but it's not going to allow Iran to reestablish itself. The question remains, at the end of the negotiations, if there's a deal struck, then you have to see, does the deal actually meet the main goals? The most important one being ending Iran's nuclear program, taking out the enriched material, dismantling the enrichment sites, and there are other things that have to do with proxy warfare and ballistic missiles. If it achieves that, then yes, Iran will get...
Well, you can't really do that right now, right? You can't make sure that this is something that happens.
Sanctions relief, and that would help the regime resuscitate itself. But I don't see that happening yet, and I hope that the president will do exactly...
Well, the strait's closed again, guys, so we don't have that much longer until we have a shock. I mean, we're already going to have one, a food shock, but the degree at which the shock is going to be more extreme or not, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm okay. Kind of.
Lee Greenwood, wow, has he been great, huh? That's been with me a long time, that song. We won 3 elections with that song. And we have a country that's a much different place than it was just a short while ago. We have the hottest stock market in history. We did great the first time. We had the greatest.
Oh my God, bro. Do you know what he's like? I've said this to my girlfriend before, and I think it's funny now. I'm going to say it again. This man is like when you get into, I don't know, your friend's grandpa's car for some reason, like with your friend, and like or even their dad or something like that sometimes, and they literally go, "Ah, do you like this fucking band?" Insert like The Doors or something like that, and it's like a greatest hit CD. And I don't know, let's just say like 2 years after that, maybe a decade, I don't even know. You get into the same car for some reason, doesn't matter, and the dude still has the same CD in that car, and he's just like, "You want to hear the greatest hits?" And you're just like, "Dude, are you fucking kidding me? You just buy one CD and it's good for your entire life, bro?" He literally is just fucking on repeat, bro. Doors, greatest hits. Come on, baby, light my fire. Like, forever.
Economic numbers ever in history for the first term, and I think we're going to be blowing them away. What do you think, David?
And the worst part is the CD is not even good. It's not even The Doors.
Do you agree? Goldman Sachs, David's here. We're going to be blowing them away. The numbers are all over the country where factories rising. $19.2 trillion investment. And please sit down.
That's normal investment that happens every year. It's not new investment. It's just money being spent. We have a $30 trillion economy, so.
Please. I appreciate you standing up. And anytime you want to stand up and cheer, that's okay too. But we have a lot of very big people here. They don't get up and cheer too often. But
Energy.
they're very happy with what's happening, and we're doing very well. As you know, Venezuela was amazing, and we're getting along great with Venezuela. We paid for the war many times over, and Venezuela's doing better. The relationship is very, very good, and we're doing very well with Iran. We wiped out their...
This dude fucking sucks. Okay? This guy fucking blows.
Navy, their Air Force, their radar, their leaders.
Is Venezuela doing good? We control everything about them. We control their number one resource. He still hasn't lifted sanctions on them, all from him, from his first term. And they're like 60 to 100,000 people dead in that country right now. And they can't do anything because this dude, who apparently runs them, by the way, will not send any help and will not let them make money. We control their oil right now. He's literally an evil person.
We wiped out everybody. And then I heard that...
How is that the only thing you literally say?
War many times. Amazing, and we're getting along great with Venezuela. We paid for the war many times over, and Venezuela's doing better. The relationship is very, very good, and we're doing very well with Iran. We wiped out their Navy, their Air Force, their radar, their leaders. We wiped out everybody. And then I heard they're doing very well. No, they're not doing well at all. They want to make a deal so badly. But we'll see what happens. They have to make the right deal because they cannot have a nuclear weapon. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You want to see a bad stock market? Let them use a nuclear weapon. I'll show you a bad stock market, right? So, but we're doing very well. They've agreed to a lot of things that a lot of people said they wouldn't agree to. We'll see what happens. We're going to win one way or the other. We'll win the nice way or the not nice way. But I want to welcome everybody to the Rose Garden. What you're sitting on, the stone, is sort of a replica of the color of the White House. This was grass, and I love grass, but, you know, the White...
You love what? Wait, one more time. You.
Rose Garden, what you're sitting on, the stone, is sort of a replica of the color of the White House. This was grass, and I love grass, but, you know, the...
I love grass. You hear that, man? He loves grass.
White House was built on a wetland, and the grass was always very wet. And if you were sitting here right now, your shoes would be destroyed. You would be extremely unhappy with me. You'd want to leave. The men wouldn't like it, but the women would, with their beauty.
It's going to hurt the stock market pretty soon, Lethy. Because everything's, you know, made with oil, so.
Beautiful. I won't name the group, but you know who I'm talking about, those extremely high heels. They'd be sinking into, I used to call it the quicksand. It was a quicksand pit. So we've
What do you mean extremely high heels? What the hell was that?
redone it. We built the Presidential Walk of Fame, which starts with George Washington and goes all the way up to Trump. And it's been so popular. We've redone the path. All the stone was broken. It was in terrible shape. And we put beautiful granite pavers in that will last. They said it has a million-year life. They go a million-year plus. They rate stone, you know, 35,000 pounds per square inch. So think of it. Nature makes a stone far greater than we can. There's no stone that we can make. There's no concrete or mix that we can make that's 35,000 pounds. Per square inch, but it's gotten rave reviews. I don't know if anybody's up and seen.
How many people have reviewed this, dude? What?
But this is the walk to the Oval Office and walk to the West Wing. And so we've done a job, and we've taken about 150 years of paint off of the columns and redid them. They were in very bad shape. You know, when you have 150 coats of paint on something, it's not good. You're supposed to, what they call, strip it. I don't use a word like that too easily. I will tell you, in construction, if you don't strip the paint off, it gets worse and worse and worse, and it was looking bad. You couldn't even see the details of what was up here. We very carefully stripped it. Now we're doing it. You notice the scaffolding on the front of the White House we're doing. A lot of love is being put in the White House because, frankly, it was treated very badly by a lot of presidents. Had no idea. The last one definitely had no idea. Do you think he walked in the office and said, I don't like the shape of the columns? I don't think so, Biden.
No, he probably at least cared about stuff that mattered, right? I don't know. That would be kind of cool. Hey,
I don't like the shape of the columns. He didn't notice things like that. He
I
didn't notice
fucking hope
anything.
he didn't. It
But,
sounds stupid.
We're putting a lot of love back into the White House. This will happen every
He didn't
200
notice
years
the
or so.
shape
You
of the
get somebody
columns.
that will bring it back. But
Very
if
important.
You look at that wall right there, that beautiful wall of the building itself. That's been redone, and it's been done beautifully. And the best thing and the biggest thing that we're doing is we're building a ballroom and a tremendous military center. That was supposed to be top secret, but it's no longer top secret because no matter what you do, you get sued. They sue because they think the ballroom's too
Probably
big.
not at first.
The ballroom's too small. I don't like the color of the ceiling. We don't like, you know, you get sued. In this world we're living, especially if your name is Trump, you get sued. And you get
Dude, you are the one who does the suing, though.
sort of good at it after a while. It becomes routine. It's ridiculous. But we're building something the likes of which will never be even close to being competed with. The ballroom is going up
So
to there.
annoying,
you see,
bro.
the hardest part is now completed, the base, and it's rising, very substantially rising. And when it's done, you know, the most you can seat is about 93 people in the White House. It was always a problem. For 150 years,
Oh, I
they
need to
wanted
fucking
a ballroom to be built. We
upgrade
don't have a
these things.
ballroom in the White House. We have a room that's a little bit large, but it's not a ballroom. It's a very small room. We had King Charles here. Everybody wanted to be here. We couldn't hold anybody. But soon you'll be able to. I think it's going to be one of the most beautiful structures in Washington when it's completed. And I've done
Trump,
many
the biggest
ballrooms, and this
hypocritical
will
bod.
be there won't be anything to compete with this anywhere in the country. And that's what
Maybe.
it should have. And it'll use it exclusively only for the White House. But it's really what it should have. When you have heads of state, it's also able to hold the inauguration. You know, we had the inauguration was so cold that when you have January 20th, it's so cold, the weather, that generally the first time we got by with it, it was good. It was, you know, like 34 degrees. But the last time it was below zero. And you weren't able, so we used the Capitol. And it's a very small space. It's not safe. It's not, you know, it's not, they didn't have drones in mind when they built it. They didn't have other things in mind either. But we were able to get 921 people in. And this will hold many times that numbers of people without the tables as seats. And bulletproof, drone-proof, missile-proof in many cases, and beautiful at the same time. And a big military component, including on the roof, a drone port. Can you believe we have a drone port? And it's like no other. So we're doing a great service. It's great national security. We also take care of a need. Every president said this is crazy.
Fast enough.
I'm sure that many of you, along with me, attended. We would have a presidential ceremony of some kind, or head.
Is that noise in the background, like people sawing?
Heads of state would come in.
What is happening, bro? Someone's on like a fucking in the back.
For instance, President Xi is coming here toward the end of September, the 24th.
Dude, fucking jackhammer in the back.
I believe.
Turn the game down.
What we need is
what the fuck?
A big ballroom. We could hold thousands of people to see him.
That's right.
Everyone
Logistics
wants to see him. Same thing with King Charles. Same thing with a lot of the leaders of countries. And now we're going to have a place the likes of which no country has. I was in the Great Hall of China recently, 4 weeks ago when I was in China. They have
the Great Hall of China?
Of countries, and now we're going to have a place the likes of which no country has. I was in the Great Hall of China recently, 4 weeks ago when I was in China. They have a very large ballroom, beautiful ballroom. We don't have that.
Is it a ballroom?
But we're going to have one that tops everything. It won't even be close. The beauty of it, the size will be great.
Oh my God!
So it's exciting, and that'll be done. Actually, I will get to use it for, people say he's building it for himself. I'll be using it. I'll be lucky if I get 6 months, because it'll be done toward the middle of 28.
So what do these logistics drones do?
But it'll give them great safety. Glass windows that are this thick that can withstand any form of shot.
I'm like, I don't remember them having a Great Hall of China.
Nothing gets through. Steel walls, steel ceiling. Extra strength. I mean, it's really an amazing thing. And yet, all of that security made it more beautiful, because you have very thick walls, very powerful walls, very beautiful. We've actually taken security and made it a beautiful thing. It looks like it was built from 700 years ago. Like when I went to England, we went to Windsor Castle. It's the longest building I've ever seen. I said to Charles, it was built around.
I think he has early onset dementia for sure.
It was a long time.
Early onset.
I said to Charles, who built this? This place is incredible. William the Conqueror. I said, oh, William the Conqueror. Was he a nice man? Charles said, no, he was extremely strong and very tough. I said, I figure with the name William the Conqueror, I would think, what do you think? I think he'd be tough, Michael. What do you think? I said, we have to come up with a good name for you, Charles. Maybe Charles the Conqueror. No, please. But William the Conqueror built a great building. But we are building one that's going to top them all, and it's going to be beautiful. It's gotten great architectural reviews. And more importantly, it got great military. We're doing it in conjunction with the military and the generals. And these are smart, brilliant generals that know exactly what they're doing, what they want. I'm giving them everything they want. And it's really a national security must. But I want to welcome you to the Rose Garden, and today's a historic day as we begin America's 250th year.
Honestly, I was about to be like, thank God.
Accounts. You've been hearing about it, and this was something that was made possible because of the great big beautiful bill. Otherwise, you couldn't do it. We got it approved. Ted Cruz is here, and he helped us a lot. And I want to thank you, Ted, and to ensure that every American child is born with a head start and a fair shot at the American dream, because by the time they're 18, they could have a lot of money. They go up with the market. Think what would have happened if we invested $1,000 in an account, even Brad and Mike, Susan, if we invested $1,000 in an account a year ago. It's like, would have doubled. And because the market, we're riding the hottest stock market in history. 81 days, I've been here 1.5 years. Think of it, 81 days we hit record highs, including today. A lot of you Wall Street guys, I see Larry and I see some of the biggest guys at Wall Street, David, Goldman Sachs, Blackstone, BlackRock, they're all here. And think of it, I'm making them all geniuses. Every one of them is a genius. Is anybody doing poorly? If you are, I guess you have a couple of guys that went short. Those poor bastards, I mean, they're in big trouble. They're being wiped out, the short guys. I never like short guys because they're betting against the country, so that's okay, but...
Dude, verifiably, we have his trades as he shorts right before he does a tweet that damages the market. So, what the fuck? He did it like a week ago.
Earlier this morning, many of you joined me in the Oval Office for the ringing of the opening bell, and something happened that was
such
incredible.
a fucking loser, bro.
Never happened before. We had the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, the top of both. These are great people, but they never did a bell and opening together. This is the first time. And there's the bell right there, and I said it's so beautiful. I'm not giving it back. I don't know if it's supposed to go back, but they're going to have to fight like hell to get it back. We're not giving it back. Do you understand that, Scott? Don't let it leave. It's so beautiful. But that's the bell we rang.
Okay,
and that's where the New York Stock
weird
Exchange
insight
and
right
NASDAQ
there.
came together, the leadership, brilliant people. And the first time ever, we did it together. It was an opening where we did it together. That's in honor of the Trump accounts, because we're going to make young children born with no money in many cases rich. I think they're going to be rich.
Okay, yep. Yeah, that sounds
I want to thank
likely.
Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Chairman of the SEC. These are really tremendous people. Paul Atkins. Scott, stand up. And Paul, please stand up. Thank you very much. Director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, who's so great. Everybody loves him. Stand up, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Governors Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who worked here very diligently and brilliantly.
Really?
As my press secretary, she did a great job. Thank you very much, Sarah, wherever you may be. Thank you. Governor Jeff Landry, who called me, he says, you know, we have a crime problem, and we had the Mardi Gras, and he said, could you we want to get rid of the crime, do something, because we have a little bit of a Mardi Gras coming, and we have a little bit of a crime problem.
Something.
And I think you said it was the safest, where's Jeff? The safest that they've ever had. Is that right?
Do something.
Right? In New Orleans, he said it was the best they ever had, the safest. And the city crime is down 81%. I wish Chicago would call me. If Chicago would call me, I would wipe out crime so fast, would remove the hardcore criminals like I did in Washington, D.C., in Memphis, and in New Orleans. We were not just a question of, you know, we're going to have big, strong soldiers. That's the least of, well, it's very important. But we removed in your place, you know, 2,900 career criminals. Many of them came through the Biden administration's stupid open border policy. They poured in. And I just want to give a little extra thing. Thanks a lot, Jeff. You're doing a fantastic job. And I'm glad you called, but he called me up 2 days ago, and he said, we just had the lowest crime numbers we've had in 50 years, 5-0. And we haven't even finished the job, but they're down like 87, 85%. You'll be down to 90, 95%. But we removed the criminals. We took them out. We're not letting them stay.
Too boring and
because
embarrassing.
they're criminals, and they'll...
My God.
Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Maryland.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. Ms. McCord, our colleagues invoked the fact that the SPLC had an informant in a white nationalist group at the infamous Unite the Right rally in August of 2017 in Charlottesville as some kind of indictment of the SPLC. But didn't that SPLC informant create the information that allowed the SPLC to send 3 different FBI field offices a 45-page memorandum warning of planned violence and the potential for violence at this extremist confab?
That is the facts that have been represented in court.
Mr. Fair, is it true that the SPLC sent a memo based on that informant's work to 3 different FBI field offices?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The chairman spoke with some indignation about the fact that there were $3 million or $4 million spent giving to undercover informants to try to expose the work of the extremist groups, as in Charlottesville in 2017, where Heather Heyer was killed by a fanatic racist. I'm just curious how the members of the panel feel about this proposed $1.776 billion political slush fund set up for the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and other convicted criminals and rioters from January 6th. Do you think that that fund should be shut down and any other similar fund, Mr. Fair?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Dr. King, do you agree that that should be shut down?
I will not speak on whether that particular fund should be
or
shut
any
down.
such fund.
I think some of these slush funds that SPLC is using.
Okay, but my question is about the one proposed by Todd Blanche. It's a yes or no.
I will not answer on it.
Okay.
I think
Mr.
they
Banger,
need to stop
do you
killing
think
the babies and cutting the penises off. And so any slush
Okay.
fund.
Hold up. What?
I have limited time. We can
Money in that is the problem.
Mr. Banger, do you believe that the 1.77
Babies and cutting the.
Okay, fund?
I think some of these slush funds that SPLC is using.
Okay, but my question is about the one proposed by Todd Blanche. It's a yes or no.
I will not answer on it.
Okay.
I think
Mr.
they
Banger,
need to stop
do you
killing
think
the babies and cutting the penises off. And so any slush fund is.
I have limited time. We can
money in that is the problem.
Mr. Banger, do you believe that the $1.776 billion political
What's
slush fund
happening,
should be
dude?
shut down and any
Help.
similar fund?
I think that's a question for Congress to answer.
Okay, and
What
Professor
is
McCord, what do
happening,
you
dude?
think? Should that political slush fund be shut down?
Yes, it should.
And any similar slush fund?
Yes, it should.
Okay. So the conceit of the prosecution, this whole hearing, the whole attack on the SPLC is that there's some contradiction between fighting against extremist hate and racism for decades and then sending people undercover as informants to find out what these groups are doing. Do you agree that there's a contradiction, Professor McCord?
I agree that it is a very useful law enforcement tool to use informants and cooperators to learn more, not just about hate groups and
Yes.
potential domestic violent extremism, but also as a tool to dismantle drug trafficking groups and human trafficking groups.
So if the FBI sent someone
fucking God.
undercover to expose a mafia organization, narco traffickers, international human traffickers, that wouldn't mean that the FBI is supporting those groups, would it?
That's correct.
Okay. As a matter of law, and as a matter of fact, can you have a criminal fraud if there are no victims of the fraud?
Nope.
To have a criminal fraud, you have to have made
Victims.
statements and fraudulently to induce some activity. And if it did not induce some sort of activity, like a gift or donation, then there is no.
Well, what I don't understand is
Oh my God, he's
that
destroying
suddenly,
that.
out of the blue, there's
This
a
is
claim
insane.
that the Southern Poverty Law Center is engaged in fraud because it's been extremely effective. I wish it had been even more effective, for example, in stopping the Oklahoma City bombing, where nearly 200 people were killed in an act of fanatical white nationalism. But it's been quite effective. I don't know of any group that's been more effective, other than potentially the FBI itself, in stopping extremist white violence. Well, do you believe that it is an act of fraud when the donors to the group understand perfectly well that people are being sent undercover to try to get information on what these groups are doing?
If donors were not defrauded, and no donors have come forward, to my knowledge, suggesting that they were unaware of what the SPLC was doing, that program has been known for a long time, and so that creates a problem.
I mean, it just seems to me amazing to be alleging a fraud when there are no victims. When I just looked up the Trump University case, there were hundreds and hundreds of people coming forward screaming to high heaven about how they'd been ripped off and exploited by this fake university, and they won $25 million.
So do you pay the same people to do the bomb and then go and comfort the people from being bombed? You pay the same people to do both jobs? That's kind of fraud to me. That's weird and chaotic and confusing.
Weird.
Well, Dr. King, I don't think there's any allegation that anybody who was working for the Southern Poverty Law Center bombed anyone. Do you have information to that effect?
I don't personally, but outside agitators did bomb our house in '63 and then ran back and took off the Ku Klux Klan sheets and put on police things and ran up in the yard.
Well,
I mean, that sounds fine to me. I mean, I do hate this conversation because it's just so fucking annoying, but let's, we can do that. Do you want to do it over voice, or how would you like to do this, my friend? My opinion on trans people? I don't really think that's a good question. Trans people are just regular people, another group, so I don't really have an opinion on them. Do you mean what's my opinion on the trans conversation right now? Or like the secondary, derivative points of how is an entire person good or bad, man? Explain yourself. It's like saying, are straight people good or bad? That doesn't make any sense. You mean biologically, Yellowstone? Deserve the rights? They don't have the rights. They have to overcome, even in the past, which we don't do this anymore, by the way. If you would like to know the truth, under the age of 18, there was 916 patients in the entire United States that were taking gender therapy drugs like puberty blockers. And most of them were women because women develop faster. But we really don't think it's a good idea, or at least when I say we, I'm talking about the recommendations from the medical community. It used to be more common. A long time ago, back in the 2000s, there was a famous meta-analysis from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken, spanning 3 decades, that showed that the results or the outcomes were not that good when we give younger people puberty blockers. It's really difficult to get them. Now, deserve the rights is a little weird. It's a weird statement. No one has the rights to take these drugs. You can get a prescription from a doctor if you need it medically, or if you need it because you have convinced enough professionals that you are someone who needs it to align yourself with your desired gender. But I don't think you know any of that. Just to be clear, I'm pretty straight, man. I don't even fucking know a trans person. Gender affirming care is not just drugs. Gender affirming care includes something as little as talking to a therapist. So yeah, it would definitely increase the mental health in trans kids. Or at least that we can measure, right? I don't see why it wouldn't. Most people benefit from some sort of therapy anyway. So what are you trying to debate exactly? I'm a little confused. I don't know what that is. What is the cast review? That's not a right, that's a privilege. So these words have specific meaning to them, okay? So you don't have the right to take a drug. You have the privilege to, if you overcome certain things. So should trans youth have the privilege? I would say in most circumstances, if, you know, professionals around them think that it's the best option, then I think a trans individual should be able to, personally. The biggest problem, actually, ma'am, when it comes to you know, trans kids in the U.S. is the very fact that people want parents to decide this, but more often than not, parents are the people who abuse the kid. So if you're comfortable giving an entire child's life in the hands of the very people who are most likely to abuse them, and in this case, that is the most common abuse perpetrator, then I mean you're gonna have to be the one to live with that, not me. That doesn't mean we should just give them blindly, which we don't anyway, but you know, we definitely make sure that we take good care, I think, into giving them or prescribing them at the moment. I feel like this should be a lot faster. We only got 4 going. Wild. I think well, when you say kids, okay, I don't think they should be able to without some form of like, some professional prescribing it for them. We don't just want trans kids to, you know, find random drugs online that they think are going to help them, because there's a lot of different types of puberty blockers. They could fucking get the wrong one, and fuck up their life. So we have to make sure that we allow access to it if necessary, but you don't really want to just like let trans kids take whatever drugs they want because they saw it online or something like that. That would be dumb. There's like, for instance, there's 20,000 different types of antibiotics. Yeah, and I think it's a shame. There's a lot of misinformation about this topic, and a lot of people in the US have zero clue what the fuck they're talking about. And this is the result, you know, I guess. Pretty stupid if you ask me, but... Oh, okay, yeah, I know what this is. Sorry. Took me a second. I know what this is. energy. I haven't read the 2024 one though. Yeah, I haven't read the 2024 one though. I don't know why I didn't really. It's not a study, Grant. This is not a study. This is a review. Those are two different things, Grant. It's not a study then. It's like a meta-analysis where you take an analysis of, you know, the field or topic in a meta way, right? So this is not a study in particular. Yeah.
That's the same people.
It's not semantics. I'm not being, sorry, I'm not being pedantic here, right? It's semantically relevant. You don't call it a study. That's incorrect. It does matter. Matters a lot. What am I fucking doing right now? Oh yeah. I need to go to my other fucking place. Should I just fucking go? Should I just go? Just go for it? You know what I mean? My inventory is way too full though. Fuck. It's too much to look at right now. It's too much to look at right now. All right. All right. All right. Clip that.
People, it was crazy.
I'm with you, and that's a statement about the racism of that police force working with the Ku Klux Klan.
Hey, y'all pay both.
No, there's an older one. There's one from like the 90s, man, in which puberty blockers were thrown into the subject and whether or not we should just prescribe them.
Both of them to do the double jobs. SPLC does. Really, you hire them to do the bombing, then you hire them to fix the bombing. That's weird.
Dr. King, you're asserting a lot of things under oath, and you haven't brought the evidence with you. So I think
I'll get some for you.
Okay, please. Bring us the evidence, and I'll yield back to you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll get some for you.
What the fuck was that, dude? I'll get some for you.
Mr. Fair, did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to have field sources attend extremist rallies across the country?
Mr. Chairman.
It's a simple question. Did you use your donor money for that purpose?
We used donor money.
It's a yes or no?
Paid confidential informants to infiltrate extremist.
Like the Aryan Nation. Yep. This is uncontested.
Organizations.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor dollars to have field sources host extremist rallies throughout the country?
Not to my knowledge.
That's not what the indictment says. Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use
That's not what it says.
donor dollars to have field sources
Wait,
grow
Trump's indictment?
existing chapters of extremist groups?
Mr. Chairman, as I said
It's a simple
earlier.
question, Mr. Fair. Did you use donor money for the purpose I just read? I'm reading straight from the superseding indictment.
And
Yeah, that indictment's bullshit.
Mr. Chairman, the indictment will be managed and responded to by counsel in the criminal case that's
Exactly. What the fuck is this question?
Just answer the question from Mr. Raskin concerned.
You mean the one that's not in a pending criminal case?
In the indictment, he asked you, did field sources send information to the FBI that help with things? You answered that question.
He's able to answer questions that he wants to about a criminal case.
That's a matter of public knowledge.
That's in our public filing.
He's also able to answer questions he wants to, because he can, if he's being criminally charged.
Did Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to have field sources create new chapters of extremist groups?
Again, Mr. Chairman.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to recruit new individuals into those extremist groups?
He's just reading the shitty indictment that Trump made.
I assume you don't want me to answer since you're not giving me time to answer.
No, I'm giving you time to answer because that's a yes or did you use your donors' money for that purpose? Yes or no?
Again, those issues will be resolved in the pending allegations against the SPLC.
It seems to me if the answer is no, you could say no.
Why would you do that in this?
We have asserted that the allegations are false.
Did the Southern Poverty Law Center use donor money to have field sources make donations to extremist group leaders and purchase materials for cross burnings? It's alleged in the indictment. Did it happen?
We've alleged that those allegations are false.
Did Southern Poverty Law Center use donor dollars to have field sources create racist paraphernalia that extremist groups sold at rallies?
We've alleged that those allegations are false.
Okay, how about this? What is Fox Photography?
Mr. Chairman, what I've learned about Fox Photography, I've learned from counsel, in conversations with counsel.
How about Northwest Technologies?
And they're covered by the attorney-client privilege.
No, these are, well, did the Southern Poverty Law Center establish shell companies to pay, to run the money through, to then pay the field sources?
Again, all of the allegations that you are referring to, Chairman Jordan, will be
well, how about this?
Responded to by our counsel in the Middle District of Alabama.
Did you pay the field sources directly, or did you pay them through an intermediary?
Mr. Chairman Jordan?
Yep.
Our counsel will respond to all the allegations in the indictment in the case pending in the Middle District.
Well, there's all these companies that you sent money to. Center Investigative Agency, not the CIA, but your CIA. Fox Photography, Northwest Technologies, Tech Writers Group, Rare Books Warehouses, Imagery Link, J&J Electronics, and Kelly's Marine. And I'm just want to know if that was the intermediate shell companies that you guys set up to pay the field sources. Is that true?
Will the good chairman yield for just a moment?
I got just a minute and a half, and then I'll be happy to entertain a question you may
Chairman
have.
Jordan, our counsel will respond to all the allegations in the Middle District of Alabama.
Okay.
As the process allows.
Did you do it all for the money? And you said now, I think the Southern Poverty Law Center said you're no longer going to use these field sources. You're going to stop the.
That's because these groups are no longer a problem. There's kind of a lack of charter groups now.
Program, but you did it for multiple years.
Back when it was a problem.
And according to the indictment, it was $4 million that you shelled out to these various field sources to engage in all the activities I just read.
Was
it all about the money?
As we said in our public statement, Chairman Jordan, we did it to protect our staff and to protect the public.
Did fundraising increase after paying people to stay in these groups who actually wanted out of them? Did your fundraising increase? Did the donations coming in increase?
Probably. Year over year, donations would increase. We would expect this.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not sure exactly what
You expect it to go down?
But you're referring to when you say.
How about this? After the crazy Charlottesville rally, did fundraising go up?
I would assume it would. That would make sense to me.
Mr. Chairman, our fundraising went up.
Fundraising where one of your field sources helped coordinate transportation.
Our fundraising went up when President Donald Trump was elected in 2016.
Fundraising go up after you paid a field source to coordinate the transportation at an event in Charlottesville where a person was killed. That's what I'm asking.
Holy variables. Have fun trying to make the causal link there, dude.
Did it go up? Because according to what we know, you went from 51 million to 133 million in one.
Yes, somehow everything you just said totally tracks and makes sense for a $70 million increase.
1 year.
Donald Trump won that year.
That happened when President Donald Trump was elected.
Who's the president of the National Socialist Party?
What?
You know? You paid him $70,000. He was field source
It's irrelevant.
number 30. I just want to know who he is. Do you know who he is?
What up?
Mr. Chairman, that's an allegation in the indictment that will be responded to by counsel in the Middle District of Alabama.
My time has expired.
What a weird fucking exchange. Shit.
Now, I'd also like to address another deeply concerning matter, detainees who died while in your custody. Secretary Mullen, since Donald Trump took office, DHS
Is there a reason this fucking mic is underwater?
immigration detention centers have been plagued by medical neglect, abuse, overcrowding, and a historically high death rate. I saw these dangerous conditions with my own eyes when I visited the Miami Correctional Facility in Bunker Hill, Indiana, where I met with individuals who told me that it takes months to receive medication refills, including for life-threatening illnesses like diabetes. Others reported being left unattended with infected boils and other serious conditions. So it's no surprise that a detainee at that facility died shortly after my visit, or that more detainees died in ICE custody in 2025 than ever before. Secretary Mullen, does DHS have any official specific internal goals or policies
Hey, at
to
least it's
reduce
fixed
deaths
now.
in custody?
Ma'am, your numbers
Well, I'm not fucking Capitol Hill.
just aren't accurate. We've had 0.009%.
Mr. Secretary,
You're asking about this. It's 0.009% of deaths, and we've had
Okay, when you reduce it to a fraction, it doesn't sound that bad in your head, I guess, but it's still pretty bad, man.
54 total in the president's time.
54 is insane. That's a lot of people.
Those are dangerous accusations you're making.
Mr. Secretary.
Those are dangerous accusations that she's making, because in the state of Illinois, they're twice as high to die in the state penitentiary of Illinois than they are in
You are
detention
invited to
Is that good?
this committee. This is my time.
And you need
are
to be
a
informed
guest.
by what you're saying.
I am in
Also, how many illegal immigrants actually stay in state penitentiary? It's not a sanctuary state, right? So wouldn't most of them be transferred to ICE anyway?
No, you're
So wouldn't the statistic be meaningless?
not, ma'am.
Mr. Secretary, does DHS have
Do
any
you realize that?
official
Do you
specific
realize that
internal
we
goals
have
or
one doctor
policies,
per
Mr. Chairman?
1,000 for detention centers?
Okay, you guys just got a bunch of money. Hire some more. What are we doing? What are we doing?
For our federal detention centers and
So do better, but like hire some more?
in the state of Illinois,
What happened to the $175 billion?
they have one per 1,800, but yet
That's, to me, it seems impossible.
she wants to focus on our detention centers.
That. You'll get your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I guess this is a good place to stop. We are trying to keep members to 8 minutes. Mr. Secretary, you know that too. That's fine. So we all know how the clock runs here. The idea is to get together to forward questions. I'm going to have you repeat your question
Thank
when
you.
we start up again.
Thank you.
But I can tell you this, if this format won't work, then we'll reschedule the meeting for later when we can keep it to all the issues accordingly. So this is the efficient way to do it, but if we can't do it the efficient way, then we'll go to Plan B, which will not be today. And I don't mean that as a threat to anybody. I'm just saying this is not Meet the Press or Fox News or whatever for anybody involved. It's what's the question, what's the answer? Mr. Secretary, if you need more time to respond to that, the committee will make any of your comments part of the record, and we will endeavor to make sure that you get to meet with whoever wants more time. But while we've got the whole committee sitting here, we're not going to do the XYZ debate, whatever the heck. So, ma'am, please repeat your question, and as near as I can figure, you got about 4 minutes left.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Secretary Mullen, does DHS have any specific internal document, policies, or goals to reduce deaths in custody?
And we do a wonderful job on...
Bro, that is a basic ass question. Holy fuck, dude.
Providing medical to... We're doing a wonderful job at it. We have 0.009% of deaths in our prison,
the department that you lead,
which is a lot better than the state of Illinois.
Is it your testimony that you do not know whether or not the department that you lead has a policy to reduce deaths in custody?
No, I did not say that, ma'am.
You didn't answer my question.
Yes, I did. You're making accusations, and you're not even looking at your own state.
No, you have no policy or plan to reduce deaths in custody.
That's not true.
2 months ago, I
Oh my fucking Lord.
asked ICE.
Our medical staff does a phenomenal job. In fact,
Okay. Do you have a plan? Is what she's asking you.
every detainee sees a doctor or a nurse with every 2 weeks.
I reclaim my time.
Okay, ask your next question.
Okay. 2 months ago, I asked ICE Director Todd Lyons the same question. He said that ICE, quote, hopes that there will be no deaths in custody, but admitted that the agency had no actual policy in place to prevent them. Rather than implement one, he resigned just a few hours later. Secretary, since that hearing, 3 more people have died in ICE's custody, and those are the only deaths that we know about based on your agency's public reporting. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to request unanimous consent to enter into the record a report that came out today from Human Rights Watch and Physicians for Human Rights titled Dying in Detention, Rising Deaths in an Expanding U.S. Immigration Detention System.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Drawing on government records, detention data, and expert medical reviews, this report outlines 52 deaths in ICE custody during President Trump's second term and highlights the concerns we've been raising to your department regarding the lack of access to medical care, suicide prevention, transparency, and accountability in detention facilities. Secretary Mullen, ICE's detainee death reporting has not been updated since April 28th of 2026.
What?
The death rate in ICE custody has doubled during President Trump's second
What? Really?
term. Will you commit to reporting detainee deaths as required by law?
We do report them, ma'am. No one.
So is it your
I don't know.
testimony then
We
that there is
report these.
no-
What you're talking about is what Congress has asked us to do, which we're not required to do, is report the deaths after they're released.
Within like a time frame, right?
That doesn't make any sense. They're not under.
Well, the data's kind of useful, isn't it?
Our watch at that point. If they die in our release, we
Is it your
report them.
testimony that there have been no deaths since April 28th?
I didn't say that.
That's what you guys haven't updated it since then, though.
Okay, so are you going to commit to complying with the required reporting requirements?
And we were shut down for 115
Oh my fucking God.
days under this
Claiming my
department.
time.
So I don't know what we just now reopened. So I don't know what reports you're wanting us to do when you weren't willing to fund us. You want the reports, but you don't want to fund us? That makes no sense.
Here and has
ICE was funded the whole time.
been taking up my time.
What's your next question?
My next comment is that the ICE
No, there's no
director-
questions. It's just comments.
No, I had a question. He didn't answer my question. And so
So the record will reflect that. What's your next question?
yes, sir. There is a policy of reviewing and publicly reporting deaths that occur within 30 days of a detainee's release from custody. And that policy existed to prevent ICE from avoiding accountability by releasing seriously ill people shortly before they die.
This was so obvious the moment he brought it up that I'm like dead inside, because this is obviously what the requirement is. Like, there's a time frame.
And as a nurse, I find this deeply troubling change in their reporting posture. Families deserve answers, and Congress should be able to conduct oversight, and the American people should have confidence that deaths connected to federal detention are not being hidden through administrative loopholes or filibustering. Transparency is not optional. There are laws and reporting requirements, and if this administration is unwilling to account for what happens to people in its custody, then it's Congress's role to question whether it deserves more authority, more detention capacity, or any additional cent from the American people. Mr. Chairman, thank you for letting me finish my comments, and I yield back.
This is a fucking shit show. My God. Dude's an absolute clown. Do we have the full exchanges? Can't seem to find them.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.
500 isn't enough people.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Kennedy, for 5 minutes of questions.
Argentina versus Egypt. It's not been proven. That's not how statistics works.
This is just for the witness. And you're familiar with that policy, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And does it contain a statement that support for inclusion is an examiner's conclusion that there is evidentiary support for the inclusion of a known individual as a possible contributor to the DNA typing results obtained from an evidentiary sample?
I believe it does, yes.
And did you follow that procedure in this case?
Yes, I did.
All right. Does this same policy state at page 4, fourth down, one more. No, next one.
It's brutal. We can't see the document.
No, it hasn't.
Examiner, does a policy state, an examiner shall not assert that a likelihood ratio of any magnitude provides an absolute identification or source attribution of an individual to an evidentiary sample?
That is correct, yes. It does state that.
And she did.
You followed that procedure in this case, did you not?
Yes, I did.
You're not implying that those numbers that a previous witness quoted and are stated in your report provides an absolute identification of Mr. Robinson or Mr. Twiggs?
No, I'm not.
Hey, E, can you mute for a second?
You trust the papers?
Let's sum up this entire thing. And
Have you read the papers? Really? Hmm. I already have the paper, dude. I'm already reading the review as well. By the same guy. You're incorrect, Yellowstone. I suggest you read it. Because there's actually a hypothesis that Blanchard fleshes out more inside of that, which is more about the mother. In fact, it has something to do with the mother's biology.
Yes, Joe, the death penalty
The most important part of his paper.
is definitely on the table in this case.
So item 8
Called
was
the mother's immune hypothesis or something.
As far as item 7,
So it's not about the brothers increasing the likelihood. It's about the mother's own biology influencing it, apparently. At least that's what Blanchard says.
item 7 was the tau. There was a slight amount of degradation, but not as much as item 8.
Okay. And what is the effect of degradation on production of
it is.
allele? First of all, what's an allele?
An allele is an individual's
genetic
DNA type.
type,
So we inherit half of our
heritable.
DNA from our mom
Andrew,
and half
late
of our
breaking
DNA from our
theory.
dad.
Mossad
We're looking
cured
at
his
something
limp
called short.
and they changed his DNA. Don't you know about the space lasers and the magic? That's
well, I mean, I didn't before.
Oh my god, I cannot stand this guy. He's just fucking violently retarded. The lawyer guy. I cannot stand him, dude. He's just fucking lost. Why is Charlie Kirk's channel streaming this? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, isn't it? The fuck?
According to the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, okay, okay,
So the
YouTube.
boxcar analogy.
Okay, YouTube.
Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is July 6th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the marine.
I don't know. All right, my friends. I'm gonna do a little bit of short stream today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful night. I'm gonna go sleep because I'm